And welcome to another edition of, well, wait a minute. No, not another edition. It's not actually Thursday. This is an extra show. We're going to call this the Monday Mayhem. And that's because I just made that up right now. As always, Daly here, man. So happy. Exciting stuff. And when I mean exciting, I mean fucking exciting stuff going on here in 239. Because it is draft time. And man, there has been so much going on, so many different things. I'm excited. But before we get into any of that, my panel, as always, Pale Poner, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I found out today that I'm going to be picking 4th overall. It's a new thing. Happened overnight last night. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited. This is a fun time. The draft leading up to the draft. You got the pre-draft trades going down already. Yeah, it's a good time. Let's pass it on over to Agent. Agent, how you doing over there?
I'm good. How about yourself, boys? I had the day off, so I've been slacking, mowed the lawn. But it's exciting. Lots of stuff going on. Some trades sounds like already. Should be a fun show. I'll introduce you to our newest main guy on the show, Ability.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? Yeah, no, I worked all day. What's that not having to work stuff? Man.
Monday. Who works on Mondays?
Right? Yeah, I know. I wish I didn't have to. But yeah, no, it's good to be back. I'm glad you guys are allowing me to do this. It's fun stuff. And I'm going to throw it over to our guest on this show today, Luca.
Hey, boys. Yeah, I don't know why you guys don't work on Monday. I had to work as well. But it's fun being on this panel. I love watching you guys. You're pretty funny. So I was like, well, might as well join at one time. So yeah, let's hear it, Daly.
Well, and, that's garbage. Here's the thing, man. Like it's funny, but so Agent was off today. I was golfing today. So I mean, again, I fall into that same category. I don't work on Mondays. So
nice.
Yeah, it's 2 out of 5, I guess, works out. But Luca, happy to have you on. Ability, aka Ryan, aka my dude, with us all the time now. Keep in mind, guys, we have the live draft show mania on Thursday. Some really, really, really exciting things we have going on. First and foremost, we had so many signups, like too many signups come through. And because of that, for the first time in 239 history, we will be having not 10, not 8, but 12 teams. We will be having 12 teams, and there was no issues getting captains here. We got Magilla coming back for yet another season. I think he's captain every season now. So he's back, and as always, the man you love to hate, Captain Ballbag himself, will be back for another season of captain, and he is pumped with some, like, I don't know, I think it was some Jesus name he came up with this time. But Captain Ballbag back in business, man. So shout out to both of those guys stepping up. Gonna be awesome. Again, 12 teams. We had so many signups that we had no choice. So we got 12 teams coming in. Great group of captains. I'm looking forward to it. I know you guys are as well. Follow up to that, another shout out to Magilla, because this year media has taken another step, a huge step, and we will be having, for the first time, a live draft board streamed for you guys via Twitch TV. Now, I will have more details as far as the link, how that will be done. I'm pretty sure Sniper, shout out to him. He's been doing a ton of work the last couple of days to make sure this happens. You guys will be able to watch the live draft board, and in that same stream, you will hear myself, an Agent, and Pale, and Ability, and whoever the hell wants to join us on the draft show, man. We will all be there. So you will be going into one place. We'll make it nice and easy for you, and you'll be able to see the draft, the players live. So shout out to Magilla, man. He picked up a really, really awesome software. Great. So, guys, this is that time of year. I know seasons are quick. It's exciting. It's fun. How pumped now that you guys have all done this, Luca, you've been doing this for a while. Pale, Agent, Bill, you guys are all. Agent, how friggin' pumped are you, man, for season 4 draft?
It's gonna be fun. I was all for the 12 teams. I think it's gonna be fucking awesome for the league. And it's gonna be a blast trying to I hope the parity from last season carries over directly into it, which I think it should. There's a lot of new guys signing up, so I hope there's no drapage going on, but we'll see. Pale snuck a few guys in again, so you never know. But I think it'll be good. I think it'll be really good for the league. How about yourself, Ability? What do you think?
Well, I think, man, based off the amount of people that joined up that I don't know, I'm a little bit scared, to be honest with you. I'm scared for a couple of reasons. One, I've only been in the league 1 year, and fellas, there's like 25 willing goalies, 14 preferred, and that's not including whether or not, Tomahawk, Pale, and Cosmic decide that they're going to jump in net. So I got a little bit of concern there. We'll see how that goes. But 'cause people like to chirp, But no, man, I'm pumped up for it. There's a lot of talent out here. A lot of people I don't know. A lot of people who are getting talked up quietly, but still getting talked up. You hear their names. I don't know what to expect from it, but 12 teams is exciting.
Now, Luca, you have been doing this for about as long as I have. We've been playing in the same league for a long time. Never on the same team, by the way. But we've been playing in the same league for a long time, man. Is this not the best time of year, draft time?
It is. The draft is probably the most fun because you don't know who's going where, trades that are going to happen, people leaving. It's just very unpredictable. And it's like a little bit of bragging rights as well because I had a lot of my friends before in the league and we always like chirping back and forth who's going to go where, who's going to go higher. So it's always fun to see where you go, and the mock drafts, you want to see if they're right. So the draft is probably the most fun next to playing, obviously. So I'm just excited to see what happens.
And that's the biggest thing, man, is like with the short season, you get to have the spectacle 4 or 5 times, 6 times a year. That's what's great about it, is it's not like a one and done. You don't have to wait for it again. It's awesome. Now, Luca touched on trades. We released this captain list Sunday. Correct me. Sunday.
I'm pretty sure it came out this morning.
Okay, so the captain list order was released this morning. So obviously, nobody's trading or doing anything until they know what the draft list is, right? You're not going to trade blind. We already have trades. I'm sitting on the 7th green today, and I get a text message from Esoteric telling me that he's made his first trade. And I'm like,
he did not hesitate.
He did not wait. And I'm sitting there, I'm getting ready to putt, and I'm looking at my phone. Everyone's like, what's going on? I'm like, hey, I got some serious shit going on over here. So I'm looking at my phone and pull it up. So Esoteric making a trade. Pale, do you know the trade? Wait, is that the trade you were involved in?
No, I have not made any trades yet.
Okay, you
I have not made any. I've stand pat at number 4 for right now. So yeah, there were 2 trades already today. The first one came out. Hugh Laurie and Shock, 2 veterans of the league, decided to trade their 1st, 2nd, and 4th round picks. They swapped them. So Shock moved up in the 2nd and 4th rounds, and Hugh Laurie jumped from the number 5 pick to the number 2 pick in the draft. And then a little while later, probably a couple hours, Tomahawk and Esoteric made a trade. They just swapped their first 2 picks. So Esoteric was at number 7 originally. He dropped down to number 11 and also picked up the number 14 pick. And Tomahawk went up the number 7 and got the number 18 pick. So Tomahawk moved up. He dropped down in the 2nd. Eso, he's got 2 picks pretty much back to back. He's got 2 yam bag picks in between. But yeah, those are the 2 trades that happened today already.
Now, Pale, weren't you in talks with someone about switching a spot? I saw something on the forum.
Yeah, I'm always throwing it out there, always trying to see what's out there, what's available. I've been talking to people about moving up, moving down. I don't know what I really want to do. I'm at number 4. I'm probably going to be happy at that spot. I don't think I'm going to actually be too much moving, but, you always got to field offers and see what's available. And, if somebody blows you away with something, you got to take it.
I feel like you're working the magic already. I just don't know what it is.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm good right now.
And the thing is like when you're looking at this, and we talked last week about how deep this draft truly is. Okay, before we were talking about how deep it was. Well, you see some of the other names that have come through on this list. Brick City signed up, okay? Who I would have had penciled into the number 4 slot if I would have known everything, just so everybody knows. Number 4, Brick City. Anyway, Drug Monkey, another guy who, okay, listen. Dude, he signs up goalie willing. Okay, if you don't play him at defense, you are a fucking fuck. Play him at D. He's an elite D. He's a good goalie. He's a good goalie. He's a really good goalie, but he's an elite defender. So please, for the love of it all, if you draft him to play D, and he's a first-round pick as a defenseman. With that being said, I'm going to now fast forward the lottery pick, the number 1. No. First-time captain gets the number 1 overall pick. This question is going to be quite simple. It's going to be quite simple because we've all agreed, we've disagreed on this. Luca, I'm following your court here, man. And here's why. Because you've been top 3 in most mocks that we've done. Number 1, who you taking?
I don't know. That's hard. It depends on what position the captain would be playing. Like, for example, if I was a captain, obviously I wouldn't pick a center because I usually play center. I would pick probably D-Mart because he plays right wing. He's really good at it. It all depends on your need and how, especially how you play. Like, certain players are really good, but they don't play well together. So you kind of have to have chemistry as well.
I feel like that was the safest answer that you could have ever given. But I respect the hell out of your answer. Ability, I'm going to give it to your court because I know you're going to give it to me straight here. Who's the number 1 pick for you done know? Now, you done know D. He can play center. He can play wing. He can play wherever. Who are you taking number 1 if you're done know?
Oh, man. If you don't know, then you got to go based off everything you've heard come out of everyone's mouth about the mighty D-Mart.
Well, I mean, you played with the guy. You did play with him last year, so you saw him. You don't have to look any further. I've already given him mad fellatios on the show, so I'm not going to do it again. You've agreed, disagreed on this pick. You don't know, like I said, he plays pretty much everywhere. That's why it's so tough because he's one of those guys kind of like you, Pale. He can go out and really just maintain and take that best available player every single round and really start to build a team and fill in whatever's left over. But for him, I would say I like him at right D. I saw him play season 2 at right D, and that's where he really stood out to me. And with the, as you mentioned on the Sober Elitist, which is every Friday night, catch it live. With that being said, I think that makes sense for him. So for me, D-Mart or Luca makes sense here. Where are you kind of leaning for this pick for Dunn?
Yeah, I mean, Dunn, I think when I scouted him last season, he wanted to play center. So I think he sees himself as a center. He's somebody that wants to play center. I don't know if that limits him on where he wants to pick. I mean, obviously he's got the first overall pick, so you know he can really go any direction that he wants to go with it. But yeah, I think he goes D-Mart at this pick, and that's because I think he wants to play center, and you know he's a right wing. He's one of the best right wings that's in the draft. He's one of the best players in the draft. He's obviously somebody that's worthy to go number 1 overall. I think that's where he goes. I mean, maybe you know he goes D-Mart first overall, and then second round or third round because he's got back-to-back picks. There's a center out there that he thinks can be a game changer, and that's the best pick. And then he decides to go right D. Honestly, all that he's got to do is look at the draft sheet, say who do I think is the best player in the draft, and pick it, no matter what his position is, because he can fill in and play wherever he needs to.
And I want to premise something because you bring up a really good point. What we do on the show here, guys, is we give our opinions, okay? This is what we think, all right? This isn't what, you know, a captain might think. So, like, if all of a sudden we're sitting here saying D-Mart Luca and then all of a sudden you see, oh, I don't know, Dominator Silva go at number 1, don't be shocked. I mean, it's opinion of all. You know, we all have our own opinions. So with that being said, Agent, who do you think Dunn is going to lead? Who's the big 1-2? What are you thinking here?
I think Pale nailed it on the head when he said him playing center. That's what I had kind of heard window, whether it's true or not, you know, and it might depend who comes to him in the draft down the road. I mean, he might change his mind and switch it up entirely what he's planning on, but I see him drafting DMart just due to the fact of him probably playing center, put a winger on his side, and roll from there.
Okay. And, you know, again, the way I look at it is that I don't think you can really miss with the number 1 pick this year. Pale talked about chemistry. Luka talked about chemistry. That obviously plays a really big role. So again, with that being said, I don't think there's really a miss pick here. It's going to be preference. As you all know, if it were me in the draft with my position and being right D, honestly, I would take DMart, especially because I've said how much center has been, how deep center has been this year and how deep I view it. But I would probably take Luka this year. I know I had DMart as my number 1, and I'm not even saying it because he's on the show. I'm going to explain why in a second. But if it was my number 1, I'd probably take Luka just because I think it's impressive as hell what he did last year, being on a team of sober, having not chemistry, moving to a team that was literally terrible, and having one of those seasons and literally just racking up the accolades because he's a guy who can completely change a game offensively and he's responsible defensively. I think that it's very so if I were to have the number 1 pick, that's where I'd be leaning, and it's not even because he's on the show. So there's your due. You just got that right there. I hope it felt nice. With that being said, I say we run this down. I know I did the 20-player mock.
Yeah.
There was a lot of emo. As you guys know, I listened to a Sober Elitist because I would be crazy not to, because it is one of the best things running right now. And again, every Friday night you have Sober drunk off his balls and SO trying to keep him in line. I mean, really, that's what. Guys, check them out. They're absolutely great. Another good show in line this week. But there was a little bit of confusion on my rankings. I think even Pale Poner got into it a bit. So that was, that was what it was. So I'll leave that be. Shout out to the community, man. I love the feedback that we've gotten. Ability coming in. He gives a mock. Dominator Silva, shout out to him. He comes in and gives a mock. Who else did one? Somebody else did. Drug Monkey comes in and gives them, again, that's the kind of things that I'm looking for. And you just go and look at these lists and you see how different they are and how we all view players a little bit differently. So shout out to everybody who did one of those. That thread is absolutely popping right now. So perfect. With that being said, Hugh Laurie makes the trade, wants the number 2 pick. I think he did it because he realized it was his only chance to get DMart. That's a whole nother love affair. That runs way deeper than myself and Dan. And get DMart here, Pale. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he wants DMart. I think if he wants DMart, he's going to have to make a trade with you done no to get him too. So I think he's going to have to move up from the number 2 pick where he just got and get up to number 1 if that's who he wants. And of course, that's only if you done no is willing to deal. I think it would be smart of him to do so because I don't think there's really a whole lot separating these first 2 picks here. But yeah, that's who Hugh Laurie wants. He's a center, obviously. He's going to be playing center, so he's not trading up to get Luka, even though he can play different positions, or Brick City, even though he can play different positions. He's trading up to get the best winger in the draft that he thinks is available. And so that's who he's looking for. He wants DMart. Absolutely. What do you think, Ability?
Yeah.
I mean, he might want DMart, and that's fine. I mean, I understand some people, some people have love affairs, and that's great. I mean, it goes a long way when you get to play with people you like. It's fantastic. But there are so many people that are crunching the top 20 list here that how are you going to be upset if you don't get DMart? I mean, I might cry. I might shed a tear. But guess what? Marty McFly is right there backing it up. I mean, plus, Chew Therapy, Brick City. I'm honestly just hoping somebody takes Brick before Pale. I saw Pale chirping, and he was all like, "Oh man, I got to get that third spot." Maybe you do, because Brick City might be off the board by then. I don't know. I don't think you can be upset if you don't get D-Mart. The first pick might take him. I mean, you got Stealth Luka right there. I mean, how are you going to be upset with that either? So I don't know. Could go either way.
Could you have picked the worst picture of me? Like a worst?
Oh, that man!
Oh.
Somebody just sent me that and said you got to throw that up on the monitor. So.
Okay, in defense,
somebody sent it out in the chat. I can't throw any names, but
it's okay. It's okay. That was about 50 pounds ago, so I'm 100% with that.
he
That's
said
fine.
60, so close enough.
Okay, maybe 60, but those days are over. Gym 5 days a week, completely past that. But shout out to whoever posted the vintage pick. I can only assume that it's True Therapy, who is now off my fucking draft list. So it works out. It works out perfectly. So with
Number
that,
30.
yes, I mean that's the steady decline. So I'm gonna send this to you, Agent, because I have a question on this. Do you really? Let me do it this way. If you're done and you're watching this show right now, and you're valuing anything that we're saying, even though we just said not to, are you kind of sending an email to Hugh Moore to say, listen, Hugh, I have what you want. So the only way you're going to get it is if you deal with me. Could you see that happening? And would it be smart of Dunn to kind of feel that out and see what's going on? Or if you're Hugh, are you okay in getting D-Mart or Luka?
Your last statement, I think you're more than okay getting either of those picks. I mean, 100%. But before you mentioned, it's done. His first season was last season, right?
No, I think Dunn's an OG for 239,
okay.
man.
Okay. Well, I don't really think he would think that way, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know the guy personally and how he operates, I guess, but I don't think he'd do that. I don't know. It's all personal opinion and what somebody's going to end up doing in the end. But it would be a smart move. I mean, it's going to give him an opportunity to move up, and I think it would help his team. I don't think he's going to lose out on anything by any means moving back to that 2 spot. He's still getting just as good a quality player. He just might be moving himself. Switch yourself around on the ice, and you mentioned it that he can play anywhere, so he has the luxury to do that. And he might not have himself locked into a position. He's going to see what comes to him in the draft and draft his team around that, knowing he can play anywhere. So, what do you think, Dale?
Yeah, I mean, D-Mart's the guy that I think Hugh wants, and I think Dunn would be smart to pick up an extra pick or two, or move up a slot or two if he can to move back one. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't do that if you're in Dunn's spot. You got gifted the number 1 pick, so you can do a couple things with it. You can either just take whoever you think is the best player available, or you can let somebody else make a decision for you, or you can understand that you got two guys available that you value basically at the same range, same value, I guess, and just say, look, I'm okay with either one of these guys.
Yeah, points. And like I said, the only reason I did it and brought it up is because, like, I know for me, like, if I was a captain and I know D-Mart's history and I know Hugh's history and I'm done, I'm saying, like, you know what? Like, Hugh plays center. And this is to go off what Luka said earlier. Luka plays center, Hugh plays center. Yes, Hugh can play right wing. Yes, Luka can play right wing. I understand that. But where are they best? At center. So with that being said, I think that Hugh is a sure deadlock trying to get D-Mart, and he's praying to the Lord that Dunn doesn't take him. So with that being said, I think if I'm done, I'm making the call. But enough about D-Mart. We're done talking about Dan. I love you, but we're done. Moving on.
You're going 1 or 2.
I mean, yeah. I love, and now I can get Luke in because I know how it is. It's so weird to talk about yourself. That's why I haven't chimed him in. But we're moving on, and now we have Dank Love, who has the number 3 pick and a fortunate number 3 pick, first-time captain, had a great season last year, made it to the conference finals with his boy Ability and the Martin brothers. They make it. They come up a little bit short, but they had a great season, and now he's captaining. To me, right here, a veteran like Sober makes sense for a couple reasons. A, he can help him with all the day-to-day stuff because Sober's done it before. I'm not saying Sober do your stuff because Sober can't even do his own fuck. That being said, Sober can that he asks questions. Hey, what's the rule on this? Oh, well, so he can help him. He can help him. He's there to guide. Does Sober make sense here? Do you think, Luca? Or do you think that, like, I know Dank played left wing a lot last year, so that is pretty versatile. Do you like Sober at 3 here going to Dank Love?
What's his natural position, Dank Love?
I think it's left wing, and that's the problem. But Sober played right wing last year, so
I think Dank can play right wing too. I think he would actually probably prefer right wing.
okay. So there you go. There you go.
Well, according to Sober, he's going to go 4th round, which is bullshit. He's just saying that. He knows he's going to go in the 1st round. I think it'll be a good pick because Dank's good, Sober's good. Sober's really good at hitting, forechecking, etc. He can score a lot of goals, knows how to play. I think Dank probably would pick him. Plus, he has the experience of being a captain before and playing in leagues before. So I think that would be a good pick for him. But I wouldn't be surprised if he picks someone else. I don't know who, though. I haven't really paid attention to the draft board.
Yeah, and like the thing is, sorry, I had some incoming information, which I'll save for later. But yeah, like that's the biggest thing. It's tough because with Sober and Dank, if he truly is going to be a right wing, okay, so obviously playing. Oh, fuck, this is the last time I'm bringing this guy up, and I swear to fucking God. But when you're playing with Danny Mart, when you play with D Mart, it's tough because that's his spot. Okay, but that kind of shows a little bit of Dank Love's versatility. What do you think, Pale? Do you like Sober here, or do you think that maybe going a different route?
Yeah, I could see him going a different route. I mean, Sober I don't think would be a bad pick here. I mean, the guy puts up points and he gets heavy in on the forecheck, and he's just a great player himself, and he can help him out with all that other stuff. I don't know. I could see him going a center as well. I could see him taking, Dom Silva, Chew Therapy, Marty McFly, maybe not Marty.
Damn.
I don't have the times or crayons to explain it to you guys, but he's not taking Marty.
No, but
I forgot about that. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
I could see him going, with one of those guys, Dom Silva or Chew Therapy or somebody like that.
Or a guy that you didn't mention, Brick City.
Brick City could
go number 3.
He might.
He could go 3. You were really quiet about that, Pale. Is that because you got the number 4 pick or what?
Well, I'm counting on it anyway.
At least he's honest about it. At least he's honest. I mean, that's fantastic. Agent, what do you think, Agent? Is Sober the pick here, or do you like a guy like?
I was
Brick
waiting
City?
for my cue in, dude. It's Brick, man. He's stupid. I just played with the dude last night, and I mean, he's solid. The guy can play defensively, as defensive a center as you want him to be, and he can go full offense too. I mean, he can play both games. Playing with him and Figo, just watching Brick, I guess, more because I'm a center myself, and he plays the game really well. He's solid, and he's smooth the puck and knows where to pass. And I think he's a guy that can set up offense for him and still help him on the defensive end plenty, so that he doesn't have to worry as bad. But I really think that would be a smart pick for him. But again, Sober wouldn't be a bad pickup. Chew wouldn't be a bad pickup. Those 3, I think, should be going in that somewhere in that group. Whoever goes first out of the 3, I do not know. And it might be somebody that he might have already played with that he already has his eyes on. It might be somebody he's just comfortable with playing already, and that's where he goes. So.
And rumor mill, and this is what I heard, is that Brick likes to play left wing. He's a good center. Now, with that being said, and guys, understand this when you sign up, if you're willing a position, you could end up being there all, and that's another thing. We got 33 game season this one. It's the last season before the new game. We got 12 teams. We got 33 games. Playing all 33 at that position. Now, I know Brick can play center. Esoteric was once a center, but I liked him better on left wing. He doesn't play center anymore. Again, if you're willing a position, understand that you might play that better suited for center. And I also I could see him going here to Dank Love at number 3 to Pale's displeasure. Maybe Pale is going to get a message from Dank. So won't. So with that being said, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So let's move right into pick number 4, Pale Poner. We know who you want, but what's the backup plan? Now, I know you're not going to disclose any information. I get that. I wouldn't do it either. But a guy like Chu there, could he go defenseman? I don't think Pale takes a D here. He plays D. He's a goal. He can play goalie as well. So unless he fully went into the draft saying I'm playing goalie, I doubt he takes a D. I'm staying with the forward route. I think he likes Chew Therapy here at 4 if Brick's not there. What do you think, ability? You saw Chew a little bit last year, maybe not. Is Chew Therapy the pick at number 4, or is there somebody else that you like here?
Chew Therapy, I haven't got enough time to play with him, but I have played with him, and he's a rock star. I mean, I didn't see anything about the way he moved the puck that I didn't like. He puts the puck in the net. I mean, that's most important, and that kind of follows the trajectory of what Pale was trying to do last season, or what he did do. He took the biggest offensive threats he could find and certainly choose one of those threats. I myself, like if I were picking for Pale, I'd throw McSwagger on his team. I think that would be fun. I think Pale would enjoy to be a great season. And I mean that wholeheartedly. McSwagger's not a bad guy. He accepted my friend request the other day, and he sent me 2 hearts as a reply for me sending a friend request. So he can't be that bad of a guy, right? But no, I think Chew would be a good pick here. Just depends on what kind of team Pale's trying to put together.
So while we're talking about that, you bring up McSwagger, man, and like the name itself is sort of an anomaly, and people start to get this sort of like, McSwagger. The guy's made the Cup Finals 2 years in a row, 2 seasons in a row. Agent, I'm going to stay away from you because I know you had him, so I'm going to stay away from you. I'm going to take Luca, who's probably the most mild-mannered guy that I know. What are your thoughts on McSwagger? Do you think you could coincide a whole season with McSwagger 92?
Honestly, I've never played with him, so I can't really judge. I know a lot of people have talked trash about him, saying certain things, but I've never really played with him, so I can't really say. But like you said, he made 2 straight Cup Finals, so he must be pretty good.
Well, let me tell you this. In years past, McSwagger would have been off my draft board. This year, McSwagger's not off my draft board. He's on there. I've got him on my list. So, captains beware. He's there. And maybe it's ability pumping all these numbers through me the last 3 weeks. But McSwagger's definitely on my list. So, again, that was a nice segue into that. As a person lead us every Friday night, make sure you guys check that out. I loved him on there. It seemed like he's grown a little bit as a person. Yes, you're going to get some of the antics, but I don't think, I think he's come a little bit of a ways. I'd like to see him, take the next step. But right now, I'm okay with it. I don't think it would be an issue. So with that being said, let's talk about Edge. We got Edge here. He had a great season last year. Now you're getting into the picks of Gunny, Esoteric, X Daly, McGilla. Do you guys see, I'll start with you, Agent. Do you see Edge really going in this mid-tier first round? Or do you think that one season only of having those numbers is going to hurt him?
Your last statement's, I think, spot on. You got to show, I'd say, a couple seasons in a row to prove that you're worth a top 5 pick, in my mind. Otherwise, you're taking a risk. I mean, teach his own. If he maybe played with him, if somebody's played with him and knows him and enjoys being on the ice, they work well together, yeah, I mean, go for it. You know the guy. But me, myself, I don't know him as well. And at that point, you look at the numbers and say, is it worth it or not? Is it worth the risk? You don't know if it's going to be there for you consistently. And a first-round pick, it's been heard time and time again, the guy should be a game changer. He should be the guy on the ice making the plays, and that's it. So that's my thoughts on it. What do you think, Ability, on that?
I don't agree with that. I think that numbers speak louder than anything. There are players in this league that are going to be playing this year that don't have any numbers. And so what you're relying on, I mean, from a first-time captain perspective, is you've got to find what you do know, what proof is there and run with it. And Edge put up good numbers last season. Now it all depends on what type of team you're going to want to build around, whoever ends up drafting him. I do think, though, that he could have a breakout year. I mean, another one, if you consider last year a breakout year. This year, I think he could top it. I don't see any reason why he couldn't, given one other strong forward. I think that he could easily top it. And that's scary, but it's probably accurate.
Now, the reason I bring up looking at this grand scheme, Shock is now traded down to pick 5. I think that he's going to play center. He tried the goalie experience last year. That was an absolute fail. That's not any fault of his. I felt that he didn't draft enough D around him. That led to that. Now he can go one of two ways. We said a winger, a guy like Edge. Could you take a Marty McFly here? Sure, you could. But if we're saying he's going to play center, or I'm saying he's going to play center, I don't think Marty goes here. That brings up Drug Monkey or Moose. Now, here's the thing. Drug Monkey played in season 2, and he wavered season 3. He's a stud. He's an absolute stud. And I'm doing this because last season was the best parity that I've ever seen, not just in this league, in any league. In any league, there was so much parity. There's 2 teams that weren't fighting out of the 10. That's incredible, in my opinion. And I think people need to know about players like this because of what Billy just said. He doesn't have a lot of numbers because he played goalie in season 2, and now he hasn't played in a season. People need to know that he's an elite D, and as well as Moose. I think that guys, the Shock makes a ton of sense because what it's going to do is it's going to training has been a struggle for him the last 2 seasons. Now he's captained 4 seasons in a row, 5 now if you're counting this one. So with that being said, I think a D-man could make sense. But if he doesn't go D, I like a guy like Edge here. I just worry it might be a little bit too early. Luca, what do you think? Edge and Drunk Monkey are a couple new names. Do you like taking a D here for Cameron, a.k.a. Shock, or do you think going a winger is a better approach?
Well, when I was on Justice League, a few times we had someone missing on defense, and we got Drug Monkey. I think he played at least 2 series, maybe 3, and he was very good, very solid, knew what to do, can score, can defend, can do everything. Plus, he's a good guy. He's pretty funny as well. I think he would take Drug Monkey. I just personally, because I played with him and I know he's pretty good. Edge is also good, but I just think at this spot, he would probably lean towards Drug Monkey.
Yeah,
this is my opinion.
I think it's a safe pick. And Pill, what do you think, man? I mean, do you like Drug here, even with the season off? I mean, the guy's still playing the game. It's not like he's not playing. But do you like Drug or a Moose, or do you think that he goes forward here?
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought it up, Daly, because I thought, seeing Shock move down, I think he does take a defenseman. I know Shock wants to play center. That's where he wants to play. He's a good center. So he's not going to take a guy like Chu or Marty or something like that. He could, but I don't think that's what he would want to do. I think he starts a team, building it out, from defensive first standpoint, just because you don't have, a guy that's a real game changer at this pick. And maybe he just thought that he didn't really need that as far as a game-changing forward like D-Mart or Stealth Luca up front with him. But taking a step back and dropping down to number 5, I think it makes sense that he would pick up a defenseman, because I think a defenseman can really change the game as far as how your team plays. If you've got a guy like Drug Monkey that can play both ways extremely well, that can play both offensively and defensively, that just changes your whole team. I mean, it makes it easier on your goalie because you got a guy that can sit back and, you don't have to worry about things defensively in that aspect. And then you got a guy that can contribute almost as a fourth forward himself on the offensive zone. So I think that makes sense, a lot of sense for Shock. I think that's a great way to start a team. You have a top center in yourself, and you have a top defenseman in Drug Monkey, and I think that just really is a good start for shock there.
Yeah, and I mean, I love defensemen who can carry the puck.
Me too, buddy.
It's one of my favorite things. Sometimes do it too much if you ask anybody on Jello Time Season 2. But moving along, number 6 is I'm Not Your Dad, USMC, a.k.a. Gunny, a.k.a. everybody's favorite, Maureen. Here, he's generally a D-man. I don't think taking another D-man makes sense here. I don't necessarily like edge here for Gunny. I think Gunny's going to go something that he knows. I think he's going to go something safe, and I think he's going to go Marty McFly. The reason I say it is for a couple of reasons. One, Marty McFly is a center, and that position is super, super valued. So I could see him taking a centerman right here, and I think Marty's the guy. He knows the name. Marty's been around for a long time. Gunny's been around for a long time. That pick makes sense. What do you think, Ability? Did you McFly here?
I have a little tidbit of information, and that is I'm reading this, by the way. I heard from a reliable source that Marty McFly is looking to play right D or a wing position. He prefer not to be drafted full-time center.
I was waiting for that.
Not going to happen.
With
You're on
that
center,
being
Marty.
Well,
Now,
you know what?
Go ahead, Ability.
I think that statement right there came straight from Marty's mouth. So I would assume that, he was adamant about that. He made the statement. He doesn't want to be drafted at center. Now, obviously, if he gets drafted, and I went back and I looked at the chart. I mean, he did put that he's willing to play. So that is what it is. It makes sense to take Marty McFly as soon as you can. And if you're already yourself playing D as a captain, that pick makes 100% sense. Now, I mean, you could tag team it. What if Drug doesn't go that soon and he's got the ability to take Drug? Now you've got 2 all-star defensemen. And it's kind of tough. I mean, you're going to miss out on a little offensive talent, but I don't know. That's a tough spot to draft in, if you ask me. I had both Marty and Drug as the offense and defense players that had been created in EA's Hockey Lab. I mean, they combat each other. They're both excellent. So I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't see him taking edge.
I have a challenge for Marty McFly, and I'm going to do it on this show. I don't know if he watches, but I'm going to do it on this show. I've been saying since season 0 that I think Marty McFly is a phenomenal D-man. But every season, he puts center as willing or preferred. You are always going to be drafted there then. Just understand that. Just like if I put right D willing, I am always going to be drafted as a right D-man. Always. No matter what I do at any other position. If you truly want to play right D, and I know you don't want to hinder your team, but if that's truly what you want to do, you got to refuse it. And it sucks. It sucks, but I'm going to use Superstar as an example. Superstar came in this league and he said, Daly, I want to play left wing. So what did he do? He fucking refused everything else. So if you want him, this is where you play. Yeah, I understand that, but that's what you want to do. That's how you make a name. Sniper. Perfect example. He said, you know what? I'm a seasoned goalie. I don't want to play goalie anymore. I want to play D. So I'm not discouraging people from doing that, but if you truly want to play a position, then do it. I mean, and this is the season to do it, Marty McFly, because we have a deep center draft pool. So this is the season that you could do it. So, I'm not saying it's like a challenge or anything, but if he ends up wanting to do something like that, I think it's something to think about. But Pale, what do you think here, man? Gunny, do you think Gunny goes a D, or as the forward makes sense here?
No, the forward makes sense. A center makes sense. Gunny's going to be playing goalie this season, I think. And I think he's, center is the way to go. It's the most important position on the ice, in my opinion. Marty plays a really responsible 2-way game. He gets back on defense. He takes away the middle of the ice for the other team. I think he drafts Marty at center and, runs with it. Marty is a great center. He can contribute offensively as well as, like I said, he's great defensively as well. I think Marty makes sense. It helps Gunny out. He can build a defense around Marty being at his center position. He's going to be, Marty is the pick. The other guy that I could see going here is True Therapy. Same reasons. I think they're both comparable.
So, and all that makes sense. And again, I think we're all on the same page as far as like what position should be drafting what. I did not know that. So, new information. Shout out to Pale on the new info. You know, Gunny playing D or goalie, you think that would change something, but I think he's right, man. He stayed to the course with the center thing here. So, Pale, you got to refresh my memory. So, Esoteric traded with who? So, who has the 7th pick now? It's no longer SL. Tomahawk, first time captain. And he's a goalie.
What was that?
I don't know. For like fucking everything. Everyone always gets on me for that. Like, oh hey.
Same voice for everything.
I do. Like everybody's the same. Oh hey. So yeah, it's always the same shit. But so Tomahawk's at 7. Is this our first goalie? No, because Gunny's playing goalie. So second goalie. So I guess realistically we're saying the same thing, right? He's taking a center.
Marty and Chu back to back.
And that makes sense. But okay, so do you guys at least when I captain, if I'm trading up, it's because I want a specific guy. I get into specifics. If I'm trading up, it's because I want a guy. So Tomahawk has somebody in mind. Luca, who's the guy that you think that Tomahawk to trade up for to get?
I'm going to agree with Pale. He's probably going to take a center. Probably True Therapy. That's just my opinion of what he's going to do. Because what was his pick before? 11?
He had 11. Yeah, 11.
And he moved up 4 spots. So, yeah, he's targeting someone specific. I think True Therapy, if he's there, he'll take him. Or Marty McFly, if he's there as well. But I believe he's going to take a centerman.
Yeah, so with the goalies back-to-back, I think we're all on the same page. Center makes sense here. So that brings it to the number 8 spot. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm taking the best available motherfucker at this spot. I don't have to play right D. I don't have to play right D. I'll take who I want.
And who's that?
I'm not telling you. I got to see where the draft is.
You should draft Legion. Draft Legion.
Legion. Have him draft
Listen,
Legion for you.
Legion
And then
still
he can
hasn't
pick your
talked
team.
for me. By the way, I'm going to do this live on air. My team name is and if you don't know what that's from, you go ahead and fucking YouTube Bear Force.
What was it? It cut. You
Yeah,
cut
think
out.
about whether or
What
not
was
you
that?
Bear Force 1. YouTube Bear Force 1. And you will have your answer right away as far as what I'm doing. When I pick my teams, man, I want stuff with a lot of material because I plan on winning games. And when you win games, you get to do write-ups. So when I need to have material to do write-ups. So if you So boys is my team name, and you'll see why it's hilarious when you check it out. Bear Force 1. It's actually an old team name, but just revived. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm taking the best.
Marty doesn't want to play center. He's already asking to take that center off and put it as refused right now.
That away, Marty McFly.
Right now.
Hey, DJ, I know you're watching the show. DJ Fly,
DJ, make it happen.
center. Hey, and you can thank Ability for dropping that dime. Because if you would have dropped that, Marty McFly would have been running. So shout out to Ability. I'm looking at you. I see you. Shout out to Ability there. And yeah, because now Marty's, you know what? He's accepted the challenge. I love it. If you don't want to play it, just refuse it. You still got left wing. You still got right wing. You still got D. You still giving your team versatility. But if you truly don't want to play center, put it down that you don't want to play it. Done. Not like, oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. But get rid of it. It's fine. So awesome. I'm taking best available here, and there's really nothing else we got to say about it at number 8. So number 9 is McGilla. McGilla is a motherfucking OG. He's been here since season 0. I think he's captain every season. He always, and I'm telling you this, even when I tell him his team sucks ass, he makes the playoffs. So don't ever bet against McGilla because he always makes the playoffs. A lefty, he's so happy to be going back to lefty. I can promise you that. Agent, who do you like here? Is McSwagger the play for McGilla here?
It might be. I know he's not I'm pretty damn sure he's not opposed to the thought of it. I know that. I entertained some trades with him last season and didn't work out, and that's fine with me, But maybe, and it depends who falls through in those first 3 to 6 pick range, because there might be some guys slipping in there that nobody's mentioned. Did he sign up full time?
Yeah, but
his availability isn't very good.
Is it okay?
It's as close to AIDS as it gets. It's bad.
He's pretty much chew therapy last season.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
that's what I was just going to compare it to.
I take
but-
dumps that look better than that availability, literally. And I don't
know
show
that-
up for fucking games. So that makes it known
true.
how bad it is.
Never do.
Ugh. You don't show up for the big ones, Matt. Yeah, whatever. I'll show you a big one. Anyways, with that
I think
being
he's got to
said,
go. I think he's got to go elite forward. That's all I got to say is he's got to go top forward because if he doesn't, I mean, he's already D and he's a solid left D. So he's got one good person there, and he can pick whoever. Even if he doesn't pick up a right detail late, he can pick them up. Like he can carry a different defenseman and still manage. As long as he's got the offense to help him out, I think that's the route that he should go to best makeup of his team. What's your thoughts, Bill?
I think Jofis goes here. McGilla and Jofis have played together for a long time.
They're butt buddies.
Yeah, I think, it's his first season in the league, but like I know the guy because I played with McGilla for a long time as well. He's an elite forward as well. He's a good player. I think his pick right here is Jofis. The guy can play wherever he needs him to play.
I think he plays defense with Max a lot too, doesn't he?
Yeah. The guy can play everything. He can play center. He can play left wing, right wing. It doesn't matter. I think Jofis is the McGilla pick. That's the safe pick for McGilla. I think Jofis is the guy at McGilla's pick here.
so then I won't disagree with that. I like Dominator Silva here. I know I
do too.
I had Dom my top 5, but I like him here.
I think it more comes down to a preference. And I think McGilla is really comfortable with Jofis. Maybe he trades down a spot or two and ends up taking the same guy. I think that's his guy though.
Hale, did you change your mind on Drug Monkey? Where you had him going right there. So curious.
Would I change my mind on Drug Monkey? Well, I think Drug Monkey's going to Shock.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Stop. Are you drinking a Mellow Yellow?
No, this is a what is this?
I just had to stop
even
the
know
whole fucking show because I thought you were drinking yellow. That's not, right? Oh, okay. It's a beer. Whew. Not that I have anything against Mellow Yellow. It's just vintage. I just haven't seen it in a while. So, I'm kind of there with you guys on that. Again, I think Dom makes sense there. The familiarity with Jofis, that also makes sense. It's safe. Luca, you know McGilla. You've played in this league. You've played, in other leagues with Mags. What do you think here? I feel like Mags always has like a fucking sneaky thing up his
He
sleeve.
does. Just
Always.
Yeah.
Like he's always got something going on. What do you think, Luca? What do you think he's got in his mind here?
Yeah, he's been around for a long time and he always makes the playoffs. Steady left defender, really pretty quiet guy, nice guy. I think he's gonna take a winger. I think he's gonna take Mick Swagger.
Yeah, okay. I was like leaning that way because like McGill is no bullshit, right? Like anyone's fucked with OG Mags, like he's no bullshit. His teams are always on, always on time. They always run good. Like I think people fear death when they're on McGill's team, so like there's never any bullshit.
Yeah,
ever.
he's really organized.
He is. He's one of the most organized captains I've ever seen. And like I said, on team, like I know how he is. I think McSwagger is a perfect fit, but I just think Dom's skill set is a better fit. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. Moving along to number 10. This one, Cosmic Fade. Now, I'm going to send this to Pale in just a second. Cosmic Fade had a bunch of dudes sign up, but he was very open and honest about it. So I was originally like screaming like this motherfucker's trying to pull a Pale Poner. But he came clean on it. But like the wording was really interesting. Like, oh yeah, this guy's like an absolute he's an absolute traffic cone. Like he sucks. But then he'll go like round 3 and like, wait a minute, you don't take fucking pylons in round 3. You take pictures, man. Like fuck. So with that being said, I don't think Fade. He's a young gun. I'm gonna give you some advice, young boy. If you're gonna drape, make sure that you don't take one of your guys here. It's not necessary. take somebody good that's guys you want, but you don't have to take, for instance, OP Jelly here. You don't have to. He's not going to go this early. So with that being said, be smart about it. Don't ruin your whole draft just to get your buddies. That'll be the biggest advice I give you. I've done it before. Pale, who do you like here going to Cosmic Fade? I think a really stay-at-home Kayla, Rev Hellcat. I like a D here for him. I really do. Because he's an offensive juggernaut. He is. He's a dangle dick. I was listening to Sober Elitist. He did cherry pick in our series, but that was the only time I played him. So that's all I have to go off of. That's all I have to go off, guys. I'm not saying the kid cherry picks all the time, but I'm just saying.
Self-proclaimed all first team defense. So.
Okay, well, there you go. The penalty minute, the whole thing. What do you like, Pale? Who do you think here?
So we talked about McSwagger on the last pick. If McSwagger is here for Cosmic to pick him up, I think that he would take him.
I think he.
I think he would. And if he's not, I think he goes Dom Silva. I think he's going to go for the all offensive type of thing, and I think that can work for him.
Did you see Agent, by the way? He was all like this. Oh, I totally think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, because I had him on my team. Like, he totally fucking dropped back.
Dude, those two have the weirdest connection ever. I can see it happening 100%. I never thought about it until those exact words you said it, but they fucking have a weird bromance with each other or something, man. They go golfing on GTA all the time.
Listen, that happens, man. In these leagues, all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're married to a guy for 4 or 5 seasons. I played with Duke, for anybody who remembers Duke.
Oh, yeah.
I played with me and Duke were on the same team for 6 seasons in a row. Sometimes, next thing you know, you're just gingerly touching tips with them, and there's nothing you can do. You're with the guy forever. That's just kind of how it works. So, next thing you know, now McSwagger's captain. If that ever happens, we'll save that for the Sober Elitist show, which is every Friday. Make sure you guys tune into that. But with that being said, I think about that either, Pale, and that's a great point. So if McSwagger's here at 10, and they coincided really well last year, they both had great season, that pick makes 100% sense. Let's move on to the man I love to hate, Esoteric, taking at number 11. He's weird, man, because I don't really know what he's gonna do here, but I'm gonna bust his balls and his draft strat a little bit, and I think Joe Thornton goes here. Joey Thornton is a guy that they've played together for a really long time. Now Esso hasn't been quiet about keeping him back. Joe Thornton's been in the big 6-on-6 games. He's been around, so I guess shout out to Esso for not trying to drape. But Joe Thornton here makes sense. They have a lot of chemistry. I know you don't know a lot about him, Luca. Ability, I'm not sure you do. Pale, I know you played because you lost 5 games the other night. What do you think about Joe Thornton, and does him going at 11 make sense?
It could. I think the thing is, Esoteric's got 2 picks that are just separated by Yambag. So
that's a fucking problem.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I think Esoteric picks up his buddy Moose here, and he goes D. I think he takes Moose 21. I think that's his gamer tag.
Yeah, that's right.
That's his buddy. I think that's who he goes first over, or with his first pick. I think that's a solid pick for him. Esso's probably going to be playing center himself. Joe Thornton, I think, probably could be available at 14. It depends on whether Yambag listens to the show and says, yeah. Joe Thornton was talked about for number 11. Let me just put him up at 12 or 13. We're probably screwing his draft right now because he wants both, most likely. But I think he probably goes Moose with number 11 before he goes anybody else.
What do you think, Agent? Do you like Pale's analysis? This Moose here?
I do. I was just actually looking at Pale's mock that he typed up, and the one person that sticks out to me that he kind of pulled Jofus up, and the one right next to him, King Rome. Nobody's kind of mentioned anything about him. Dude's solid. Can play really, really well. He's proven it time and time again. He might be able to sneak up there. BCO is another guy. I don't know. I don't know the Esso's mindset. I don't know exactly what his plan is. We'll just have to kind of see how it plays out.
He's another one of those guys who can do multiple positions, although I do have him on the record saying, I'll never fucking play center again. Oh my God, it's very windy out. I might lose connection. And then the Xbox turned off.
It happened.
Something like that happened. We've all been there. We've all done it. So I really think that Esso, after season 2 on left wing, the center does make sense. I could see him taking, like I said Joe Thornton. I didn't even think about King Rome. Actually, I told you I was golfing all day today because that's what I do. King Rome, welcome back to the league. He was a former top 5 pick, was on a terrible team. Haven't seen him since, so I'm glad that he's back. Yeah, that's a great pick. I like him almost better for Yambag while we're segueing that. Billy, I know you don't know a lot about Rome, but what do you feel about two-way centerman in the first round? Is center a position that – I know you're not captaining, but do you think it's the most important position on the ice, as Pale has said so many times?
It is an important position on the ice because there are some centers out there that are much better than others. And when you're playing league play, when you have an advantage at the center position, your team's getting the puck more often. It's a huge thing. I do think that the two-way should come with the position. I mean, if you're going to play center, you better be able to forecheck and you better be able to play D. That just goes hand in hand. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be playing league play at center. Simple as that. I wanted to touch on this too. I played with Esso yesterday, something like 11 games. I jumped in his party because I knew he was captain, and I figured I'd just let him scout me, right? Well, I can tell you that I like your Joe Thornton right here because the personalities between those two, that's something special. I don't know if they'll take him first pick, but I think that the mashup there, it could end up being a scenario where within the first 2 weeks of the league, Esso tries to jokingly rule one Joe Thornton. That could happen. I'm throwing that out there. I do think, too, that going back to McGiller for just a second, I think BCO's name could pop up. I like Thamps. I think also that Esso might try to pull the back-to-back Joe Thornton Thamps pick, but I'm not 100% sure. It depends on how the rest of this list plays out. Another thing, too, is that, you don't know what these guys are thinking and how serious they're taking any of the stuff we're saying. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait until Thursday.
That's the thing, though, man. I mean, we're here, but we're here to stir the pot. And we're giving our analysis, we're giving everything, but I think it scares. I think we do a better job than maybe we get credit for. But again, I didn't even think about BCO. But God, is that not a test this season? I mean, we're talking King Rome signing up. Marty just switched out, but even with that, BCO, True Therapy, Brick City is going to end up playing center. You got Stealth Luca D. I mean, that's 5 right there. I can go on. Desire Customs is a guy that everyone knows I love, even though he's a cock. But I would love to have that guy on my team again, not trying to give anything away. But with that being said, the position is very, very deep. So it's kind of a testament to what you're saying. But, yeah, you're right. It comes with the territory. I think it's a really tough position to play, probably the toughest other than goalie because there's a lot of responsibilities that come with it. Thamps is an interesting name. I'll give you a tidbit about Thamps because he's actually a good buddy of mine as well. He just had his first kid, so congratulations to him. I don't think it'll hinder any gameplay or anything, but shout out to Thamps. I don't know if he listens to the shows or not, but he just had his first baby. I think it was Father's Day he had it. So shout out to him, man. Congratulations on that. With that said, that's the first round, man. We could have done Yam's rat pick or whatever the case was, but when we started talking about this a couple weeks ago, and then we kind of comprised the list of free agents and everything like that, now you look at all these other names. I'm going to go on the red. This is the deepest draft that we've had. Ability touched on it. Was it 24 or 20? We only got 12 teams. So you got 25 willing goalies. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, we're making huge strides over here, guys. We are growing. We're getting better each and every day, and we wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So shout out to everybody in the league. I think we're there, man. I think we're up against it. Another solid show. Next time I see you guys, we're going to be drafting. It's season. Pale, is there anything you want to end with and send it around the horn here?
Well, I don't know. Did you guys want to talk about like some of the rookies that are coming in? And
Oh yeah. Do you guys all want to stay
Yeah.
on? We could do it. What's the extended edition?
Yeah.
Uncut. You guys good?
Yeah.
Fuck, perfect. Let's do it. All right. Well, Pale, give me one. Jump on in right off the jump.
All right, let's do XTL New Jersey Devil. The guy's he signed up as preferred right deer goalie. I think he could be an impact player at either position for somebody. I don't think he's going to be somebody that's going to, steal a game at goalie or, be a drug monkey for somebody at D. But he's a solid guy, and I think he probably fourth round pick, third round pick. I think he's a good player, and I'm excited that he's in the draft. I think he's going to be a good player for somebody here.
Okay, cool. I don't know a lot about the guy. If you guys have a rookie on the panel, chime him in, throw him out there.
I know a little bit about Devil, and I'm just gonna say,
okay, cool.
I kind of look at him. I played with him. He was playing goalie. I look at him as I played a lot of scouting games with Middle Garen before I drafted him, and he's a guy that not everybody knows. Not everybody wants to take a risk on a rookie goalie. I mean, that's somebody a guy can pick up 4th, 5th round, and he's going to be able to hold his own. He's not. I don't think he's a goalie like Phil said to steal any games, but I think he's above average at it, and I think he can hold his own at it. So that'd be a good pickup late.
Ability, do you have anything to say about rookie goalies in the league?
Yeah, I can say that they get no props whatsoever. And if I do recall yesterday, Agent, I definitely did play one game against him. And if I recall correctly, I may have won the game, but wasn't it 2-1? I mean, he can.
I don't remember. Fuck, I don't remember.
Oh, well, I do. And I was drinking tequila last night because I played like 18 games yesterday. But
you talking last night?
yeah, I had a little tequila.
Oh, yeah.
You know how Slatnewski gets
down. The one game you can win. All right, that's fair.
I know I was half lit, and you're like, rematch? And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Fuck
Yeah.
it. That's fun. They're close games. I think they're both fucking 1-goal games. So
No, he played pretty decent. So I think that, rookie goalies, that's a tough position to play anyway. Even if you're a veteran in it, if you don't stop 95% of all shots that come your way, you don't get the props you really deserve at that spot. It's tough. I mean, look what Pale did last season. Those numbers were fantastic, and I don't care what D he had in front of him. There were several times I was jealous of Pale last season because he was stopping shots on the regular against D Mart and Marty McFly. And Dank Love, for that matter. I mean, I watched it in front of me, and I was a little envious at what he was doing, even when the shots were getting through. So goalies don't get the props they deserve. But from what I saw from this NJ Devil, he did pretty good yesterday.
Quick question here from the chat. We got to figure out what the old dad specials are.
Oh God, I can't say that live on air. I can't.
It's been requested by a couple times.
Okay, like as far as like morality goes, like I can't say that on air what that is. Like even I, of all people, have limits, and I know it's fucking true. Teach him everything he knows. So I know it's true therapy throwing the ODS out.
Not true.
On air. Yeah, man. There's young children potentially watching. They sit down for the Thursday Throwdown, and I'm talking about the ODS. It's just you can't do it. I got a child of my own. I mean, I which is weird, but yeah, I can't. So, however, I do have a rookie that I want to throw out. And like in my own selfish way, I wanted to like try and drape, but it doesn't matter because everybody know who the fuck she is. But it's CDU 77. I think it's 77, but she is she is the bestie in the draft, like in my opinion. So she won't go before Drug Monkey. She probably won't go before Moose. Let's put it this way. She's so good at right D. If I drafted her, I would play a different position. She can play lefty too. But if I were to go that route, I would end up playing another position because she's just that game-changing. One-on-one, I always like to say I'm the best one-on-one defender, but I think she's better. And have an ego like this. So that's tough for me to say. Do you guys have any experiences with CDU? I mean, like she's literally a game changer. You might have played against her. And Any insight?
I haven't. I'm supposed to be playing a couple of scouting games tonight, and I think I'm going to get my first look at her tonight. But no, I don't really have anything on her specifically. Anybody else?
Anybody?
Well,
No?
it's players like Rev and Sea-Doo that cause global warming. I mean that wholeheartedly. You got a couple females that are playing in, for the most part, a guys' hockey league. And not only do they play their positions, but they crush it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like, I wish my old lady, she doesn't play video games, right? And here we are. We have these two girls in the league, and they're crushing it. I mean, I think that's something to be said right there, that they can even step into this atmosphere and perform. I mean, I don't even know how they do it. I don't know if I could do it if I was in their shoes. It's impressive.
Well,
one person I want to hear some people's comments on is B Cripps. I don't know who the hell it is. Who he is.
He's good.
I'll get to B Cripps in a second. He was next on my list. But as far as what Ability said about the girls jumping it, dude, forget all the girl stuff. They that's not even an issue. They come in, they can all my crazy fucking shit, as most of you all know. I'm a little bit nutty. And they just roll with it. So you don't have to worry about that. You can chirp them. They're gonna chirp you fucking back. You better be ready, man, because there's nothing. But Kayla was chirping me the other day, and I loved every second of it. So I'm excited, man. It's gonna be awesome. And Kayla's back full time too. Fuck yeah! So we got that. Yeah, I just did one of those. Let's talk about B Cripps, man. Luca, I'm gonna send it to you because you know about him too. I know about him. The guy is literally a game-changing goalie. He is probably the best goalie in the draft. So let's go with this then. I'm going to ask you this question. A game-changing goalie. You guys all know my opinion on goalies. So I'm not going to go there. But where are you taking a guy like B Cripps? Is it end of round one? Is it early round two? Now, this is a guy who legitimately steals games. Where are you taking him?
I would never take a goalie in the first round. That's just my preference. Probably late second round. That's where I would take him. He's really good. I haven't played with him for a long time, but I think a few seasons ago, like maybe from the Moose, I think he joined the Moose. I don't remember, but I just remember his name, and he frustrated me so much. I couldn't score on him. He was unreal.
I know we're spotlighting rookies, but I just want to sidetrack really quick for this. Billy touched on it. You have Tomahawk, you have Gunny. Who's the other goalie captain? I'm sorry, slipping my brain really quick. There's three. The three goalie captains. Then on top of that, you look down the list and you see a B Cripps. You see a Mr. Hollywood, who's obviously a top 5 goalie in the league. You see Ability coming off a phenomenal year where he made it to the finals. You see, oh my God, Drift King, who's honestly, Drift King's a little bit rough around the edges, but I love that fucking guy. I love him, okay? He's on the list. This goal, everybody's going to have a good goalie. There's going to be good goalies on every team.
Isn't his availability bad, Drift King?
Is it? It might be. I haven't
He's
looked.
A good goalie, though.
He is. It's his best position now. In years past, you could see right wing was obviously the go-to. I think goalie is his best now. So
what the heck is gamer tag again?
Time to get Steven.
That's right. Yeah.
That one.
I refuse to call him that.
Yeah, I haven't in 3 seasons. I remember when he was changing his name. He's like, "Oh, what should I make my name?" I'm like, "Well, something not stupid." He's like, "I'll be Time to get Steven." I'm like, "That's fucking dumb." Listen to me on that. That was the thing. But is there any other rookies you guys want to touch on? I'll probably get this in writing sometime next week. Maybe I can collaborate with Pale and some of the guys on here, and we can get something up physical for everybody to do or everybody to see, because we have a huge rookie class. I saw Daly Lama. Shout out to him, man. He's friggin' awesome. Great to have him parties. I hear he hasn't played in a while, but it's like riding a fucking bike, man. Once you get it going, it's not a big deal. So shout out to him. So many names. King Rome's back, man. This is gonna be a good season, man. Is there any other rookies that you guys want to touch on or can think of? No. Okay. Again, we touched a lot of them in the draft, in our analysis and different things like that. I think I put, Jofus. Jofus is obviously, I don't think he played in any season in 239 yet, right?
No, I don't think so.
So Jofus is technically a rookie. We all know who he is, aka Malone. Again, so I'm pumped, man. And again, I know I touched on it in the beginning, the draft board, the new draft board that we have. Fuck, man, I've seen it. It's awesome. It's super, super exciting. McGilla, shout out to him again, going out and finding this. This is going to make the draft run smooth. You guys are going to be over. We're going to have a packed house. I think I have confirmed in the whole Sober Leaders show. I think Esoteric is going to draft live as well. I'll be in the draft live. Pale will be in the draft live. That's all exciting. It's always cool to get, that from there. And Sniper, shout out to him. He is working up and down trying to get that thing up and running. Cool feature that'll be added. I don't want to give it away because I don't know if I'm going to get yelled at by the admin group. Fuck it. I'm just going to say it anyway because I don't care. So when a guy gets drafted, man, we are going to be able to pull up their 239 career stats, goals, assists, plus minus, game played, all that stuff. Power play goals, short-handed goals. All that stuff is going to show up, so you guys will be able to see that. Sniper's going to be working that all freaking night, man. So again, if you guys see him, give him a little give him one of these. Just let him know that he's doing a great job because he truly, truly is. Again, we went a little bit over, man, but it's draft season. It's freaking draft season, and we got 3 days, and it's here. So shout out to Luca for coming on the show. Agent, as always, you stayed the whole time, man. I didn't know if you were going to stay the whole time.
They ended up leaving. She got here. That's when I ran quick. I had to go talk to them. They ended up leaving, so it worked out fucking great.
That's okay. You're not going to get laid tonight, but that's fine. The sacrifices you make for 239.
Yes.
Pale, as always, man, your 239 champ. He's just freaking, he's got that shit-eating grin every time. Every time I introduce him, I'm like, oh, hey, Pale, what's up? And he's like, hey.
That was perfect.
Like we know, dude, we get it. Oh my gosh. Couple of shows from now, hopefully that thing is going to be here. So we'll be able It will be. It'll
probably be in a couple of weeks here. It's not imminent, but it will be.
I'm so excited. Again, as Esso said on the show, there is going to be something physical. We will have something physical to show you in a couple weeks, and I do not want to miss my words and slip up. Ability, as always, with the backgrounds, the captain's list, a fucking picture of me from 10 fucking years ago, as always.
Hey, welcome. And I want to say, man, I've got a lot of faith in what I'm seeing here on this captain's list, but I'm really worried about some of you. I don't know if you're looking at the numbers. I don't know if you're listening to us. I don't know what you're conspiring, but I can tell you, I have a feeling a couple of you are going to make some slip-ups. You want to stay away from your friends in this one. Some of the advice that was shared on this show, it's real important stuff. That first pick is going to pave the way for your good team. So
somebody's got to be a loser, right?
Yeah, but Pale, I'm rooting for you this year,
bro. And then Luca, as always, man, first time on the show. Nice to be able to put a face to the voice because I've never actually seen you in all my years of playing with you. So thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate it. Anything you want to say before the draft?
Joe Thornton says, good show so far. A shutout would be nice. So there's your shout-outs, Joe Thornton. Good old Sudbury boy. That's a French guy.
He follows Bruce, him and Bruce. I think it's like an Ottawa thing, but you know what? We love Joe on the show. Joe's awesome. And honestly, his monotone chirps are like my favorite thing in the world. Last thing, people want to know what hat I have on today because I always have a different hat on. I got the Oriole hat on today. It's usually something different every week. With that being said, we are done here for the Monday Mayhem, or whatever the fuck I said in the beginning. Mayhem signing out. We'll see you guys on Thursday for the draft.
Peace.